Good Saturday morning. Thanks for joining us. We have Luis Alvarez to talk technology with us. Luis is the CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group. Hi, Luis.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Doing really well. By the way, first and foremost, I understand that the Pigs and Pinot event that you were the chair for with the Rotary last weekend was a big success, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we had, I think the final count was over 400 people there that came by and enjoyed the wines of, I think we had 18 or 19 wineries, as well as 20 some odd restaurants that were making some variation of pork, hence the name Pigs. But we also had some cupcakes and some lovely cioppino and all sorts of really good food. And all of the proceeds really go to benefit the community because the Rotary Club of Salinas that puts on the event, put on by volunteers. Nobody gets paid to do it. So all the money that we raise goes right to local community projects and nonprofits that we support. Everybody from high schools, Salinas High is one of our beneficiaries, to some notable nonprofits like United Way and Ag Against Hunger and some other ones.
Well, it was a great event, and by the way, speaking of the pork dishes, which really incredible, and those cupcakes, I recall that some of the cupcakes actually had a frosting with bacon bits in it or something like that. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, amazing what you can put bacon in nowadays. It used to be you only had it for breakfast. Now it's in everything.
Yeah, people love bacon. The other day we had a chance to talk a little bit about the Google driverless car. Thought we could just recap that, start with a recap on that.
Sure. We mentioned Google has been testing the concept of self-driving cars for close to 4 or 5 years now. And for the most part, they've been doing it kind of under the radar as a technology enhancement tool to figure out, how do you make this really work? Well, they've advanced to the point now where a lot of the technologies that they've developed are being incorporated into cars being manufactured by mainstream car manufacturers like Ford and BMW. And you're going to start to see those in the showroom floor as enhancements for safety and for security so that you stay in your lane, that you don't slam on the brakes and, speed up so fast that you cause an accident. So you're going to start seeing these cars be smarter in helping you drive. But the eventual goal is the driverless car. And some people think that that's at least a decade away. But Google is kind of hedging their bets. They're thinking that's going to happen within the next 2 or 3 years. They think it's going to first emerge in taxi services. They're investing some money in developing some real cool marketing applications for that.
Now, here's another really interesting story that just came down, that Lenovo announced on January 23rd that they intend to acquire the IBM 86 server business known as System X or the X series. What's important about that to you?
Well, what's important is Lenovo is a Chinese company, and they're very big in China and been around for a long, long time. And several years ago, they purchased the desktop and laptop business from IBM. So, the ThinkPad, the venerable laptop that a lot of us use, now is manufactured by Lenovo, and they started manufacturing the desktops. And this is the final piece of the pie in terms of IBM spinning off what they consider to be their low-end business. Now, mind you, this is a business that generates $3 billion a year. So for most of us, we wouldn't consider it to be low-end. But Lenovo is really starting to make some serious inroads. Not only did they buy the last piece of IBM's personal computer business, if you will, and small office business, but they purchasing the Motorola wireless technology brand from Google, which Google purchased a couple of years ago, so that they're getting into cell phones and they'll be producing mobile devices. And this is just, Lenovo's continued growth into being a very competitive partner to HP and Dell, which they consider to be the two big front runners. Lenovo wants to be in that league.
And I have a Lenovo laptop, and I've had it for about 3-4 years now. It's worked very well for me.
They've continued the quality of the product and enhanced it with new technology and new capabilities. So I like Lenovo as a company, and we sell HPs, Dells, and Lenovo, so we're kind of an equal opportunity player. I just find it interesting that the way that this company that is very entrenched in China is starting to enter the Western markets, in particular the U.S. market, is by acquiring known brands and basically relabeling them as Lenovo. So you're going to see pretty soon, when you go to the store next year, you'll find a Lenovo smartphone and a Lenovo tablet instead of Motorola. I suspect they'll be rebranding all of those as well. There's a lot of consolidation going on.
Yeah, that's just the way businesses go. Things end up consolidating, and then after a while, if people can't make it work, they spin off those, and you have independent companies again. It's just kind of a cycle that they just go through.
Yep, absolutely.
Microsoft is preparing to name an insider as the new CEO for the retiring Steve Ballmer. It's a 46-year-old guy named Satya Nadella. Satya Nadella. What do you see as the significance of Microsoft's new hire for their CEO?
Well, Microsoft's long-term CEO, the founder of the company, Bill Gates, turned the reins over about 10 years ago to Steve Ballmer, his good friend, also co-founder of the company. And then Bill kind of settled into the role as chairman of the company and really started to focus almost exclusively on his philanthropic endeavors. And a lot of people feel that under Ballmer's leadership, Microsoft has kind of drifted. It really hasn't been the innovator of past years and hasn't really come out with any real cool new technologies. Some would argue that Windows 8 wasn't a success. It's kind of like some people call Windows 8 the Vista of Windows, Vista 2, and that there's a new version of Windows around the corner that will be the equivalent of Windows 7 and will resurrect the Windows operating system on the desktop. But in general, the feeling within and and outside of Microsoft was that Steve's tenure just wasn't as good as Bill Gates. And so they're looking for somebody to step in and really take the reins and develop a new sort of company, a Microsoft for the 21st century, if you will. The guy that they've chosen is somebody who is surprising in that he's an insider. That a lot of people thought they'd go out and hire somebody from the outside to kind of shake things up. But instead, they decided to go with somebody from within the organization, somebody who has been there for a long time and who probably will provide the spark the company needs, but yet not threaten complete upheaval as an outsider might.
Okay, so watch for that, and that'll be imminent. We'll see. And what's interesting about Microsoft is, in certain respects, they've been very much like an IBM or a General Motors or a Ford. They don't make those types of 180 turns.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, a big company like that, it's difficult to pivot.
Hey, here's one more thing I ran across. iPhone 6's Sapphire Glass may enable solar charging. They're rumored to be doing a trial production of an iPhone that would actually charge with solar. Wow.
There's a lot of really interesting developments that are taking place with regard to energy use. And a lot has to do with the proliferation, if you will, mobile devices. And the fact that we all grumble when we have to power up our phones, especially if you happen to be away from the house and you don't want to carry your charger with you and plug it in at a restaurant or try to find a plug at an airport if you've ever had to do that. Sometimes it's like hand-to-hand combat as you are fighting people that are also looking for plugs to power up their devices. So the idea of enabling solar-powered devices and being able to provide some capability to extend battery life by using the sun to power it is a great idea. There's some challenges that have to be overcome, but I think to a large extent the price of solar panels, and the technology that make those panels has come down quite significantly in the last couple of years. So it wouldn't surprise me that they would enable some ability to, if not completely power the device using solar, at least trickle charge it so that it extends the battery life between full charges.
Yeah, and the thing I find so frustrating, I have one of those old BlackBerries, is gotten down to the point now where the battery lasts about an hour, and then I've got to put it on the charger for 2 hours. So it's not working out too well.
No, it's not. And that's just a consequence of aging batteries. Over time, they take less and less of a charge until it comes to the point like where you're at now, where it can barely take a charge.
Right. Great information on the technology front this morning. Luis Alvarez is always on top of these issues. And you can check him out at alvareztg.com. And if folks need to contact the I-Team for repair work or maybe internet security for their business or home, how do we get hold of you?
Give us a call at 866-78-I-Team. That's 866-784-8326. We'd love to help with anything that you need.
Luis, thanks so much for joining us, and we will chat again on Monday morning.
Thank you, Mark. Looking forward to it.